Hello guys, welcome to Ben's blog. Well, today we're going to talk about all the wiring connections of the module, the schematic diagram for the modules, where the installations you can be done for that, and where is the power supply, the sensing voltage, the other what we call that for the sensors, and everything connections for the digital input. We are going to talk about it here. So now for the first we're going to talk about is this is the DEESEA module, which is this one is a 6110 and 6020. The rest of the module wiring diagram we're going to talk about, and what is the options we can install for this, and the configurations is already have before that in my previous blogs. You can search on that, and you can ask me also, so I can give you the link if you need some referral for those configurations for this kind of module. So let's start for this explanations for 6110 module wiring diagram connections. So let's start. So okay guys, now we're going to start now for our topic. So first thing, we're going to start this topic is all about the DEESEA electronics, which is this one is 6110 and the 6020 DEESEA module. So here we can see all the basic installations and the configurations where we can do from this module. So first thing, this one is we're going to jump up to the number here is where is that one? I'm just searching, just a little while. Okay, so this one, this is the module, typical module where you are going to talk about is 6110, and say it again, 6110 MK2 and 6020 MK2 controller. So this one is already have this one have the software suits if you are going to buy this one, and including the USB cable. So sometimes if you want to save some money, maybe this one only the module itself, there is no this a disk for the software. So this is the structure of our module in the front, and this one is you can connect through USB connections, 2.0 connections. Okay, and now let's jump up for our module, which is the back side of our module, where we can see the connection port. Okay, so here you are find that there is some what is this one is the tagging or the numbering for the DEESEA, where you can easily identify if this one is like the power supply, the emergency stop connections, like the analog, the charging port for your charging alternator, and your CAN bus, and the rest of that. You can find it here. There is their own diagram for this, and the markings, and what we call this one is their numberings. Okay, so here let's talk about, here we have the battery symbols here. So these are also the symbols in the top, and down here is the numberings. So they have their own symbols for that. For example, this one, this is literally the symbol is battery. We can find it the positive and the negative here. So here in these connections where you can connect the power source, or this one is the battery. So here is our number 3. You can connect the emergency stop, and here the 4 and 5 or the AB is your digital output. This is designated for your fuel and start output signal. Okay, so here in the number 6 is, we can see we have the symbol here D plus and WL, where this one is connected from your charging alternator. Okay, so this one is in the D connections in the alternator, and we have here the remaining is C, D, E, F, which is, this one is the digital output, which is, as you can see, the symbol here is positive. So meaning this one is give you the positive output supply. So this one, for example, you have configuration this one as for example common alarm, so you have to put additional relay in order to work on that. Or this one is like configure this one the C, or the D can configure this one as a shunt trip. So in the configurations, you can use this one as a shunt trip output. So if in case of there is some overcurrent, or depends on your configuration and depends on how the way you use this digital output, so it will work on that. So you need only extra relay for the switching for your what you're going to use the output for your configurations. Okay, so this one is positive, depends on your supply. This one is getting output positive, either 12 volts or 24 volts. So here, next down here is our analog input. Okay, so we have here also the A, B, C, D, and we have the earth connections. So here in the analog, for example, we have here the E, so you can configure that one as for example, you have the oil sensor. This one analog means this one is sensor, means you have the reading, or they give you the measurement from that sensor. Okay, so for example, you have the video sensor, you have the Murphy sensor, you have, there is a lot of kind of sensor you can configure this one. So we have here in the configurations, you can select as resistive, voltage, or the rest of the sensor you are going to use. It is depends on the what kind of model and the usage of this sensor. So if you are installing the sensor, you have to read the manual for that sensor, so you can identify what kind of sensor are this, either resistive or voltage. Okay, so here, for example, the configurations, you can select as oil and coolant, or engine temperature sensor, or the fuel. Letter C is fuel, like D is, you can configure whatever the necessary options that you needed for your generator. Okay, so this is the symbol for the analog sensor. And take note that this earth is very important for this analog wiring connections, because without this, it will affect the reading conditions of the, or the measuring conditions of your module. It will not accurate, or it will give you some problem if you are not connected properly this earth connections, and it should be linked to your negative supply. Okay, so next here is our magnetic pickup. This is the symbol for the magnetic pickup. They have the gear, and this is the magnetic sensor. Okay, so this one is what we call also as a speed sensor. So here, if you need this one, you can install, and you have to activate in the configurations, because if you connect this one and you did not do the configurations, and also it will not work, and it will not give you the functionality. Okay, so here next is our the CAN, which is, we have the HL and the SCR, or the screen. Now we have here the numbering also at 19, 20, and 21. So this is the standard numbering, and for the DEESEA, and we have the symbol or the labeling of H, L, and screen. So here is if you have the standard color coding for this one, is like red, black, and the screen connections. Make it sure if you have the canvas connections, do not enter or install it in the correct positions or the polarity, because this one is, if it is reverse connections, it will not give you the accurate reading, or it will give you some shutdown or error. Okay, so in order to work this one also, you have to do the configurations as well. So here is our connections for the DEESEA net. So DEESEA net means this one is the communications by using the other products of the DEESEA, like expansion relay module, local annunciator. This one here you can connect, but take note that you need the resistor for that, for these connections, either in the end of the device you are using. Okay, this one you are connected to B and E. This is parallel connections in this number, this 22 and 23, or B and E, and then the screen. Okay, to make this DEESEA net work, also you need a configurations for this. Okay, so let's jump up here, and 25, 26, 27, and 28, where there is a symbol here as the EC connections. Means this one is from your generator AC voltage connections. Okay, generator, so in the alternator side connections, or either in your breaker side connections in the generator. Okay, so you have the U, V, and W. So you have also here the line 1 and the line 2, line 3, which is line 1 is correspond to U, line 2 is correspond also to your V, and line 3 is correspond to your W, and the end is correspond to our neutral. So here, take note that this one is taken from your generator alternator box, which is connected as line 1, line 2, line 3, and the neutral. So this one is 3-phase forward connections. Okay, do not interchange the connections, because it will make some trouble. It will give you wrong reading for your voltage, or it is also give you the wrong reading for your kilowatt if this one is mistakenly connected. Okay, so this one here is our mains connections, means in the commercial side. So we have the RST red, this one is what this is called, this RST, this one like red, yellow, and blue in our in the Philippines color coding we have here. So here is RST. I'm not familiar with that. What is this, the RST colors, and we have here the neutral. Okay, so in the DEESEA numbering, this one is 29, 30, and 31. Okay, so this one is the mains connections, which is connected to your grid, or from your commercial power. Okay, so this module is only work for the mains is 60-20, while the 6110 or 6120 and 6110 is not having these options, only for the 6120. Okay, so also do not make the connections for single phase or three phase. It should be three phase forward. Okay, so in order to work this one properly, but try also, if you have single phase connections from your mains, then you have to reconfigure this and the configurations. Make it as a single phase or line to line connections, or make it there. Change the configuration setting for this one, and so in order to work, because if your connections is single phase and the designated configurations inside of this module is 3-piece forward, then you have some problem, because it's the module can identify either this one is unbalanced voltage, under voltage, so it will make shutdown. And if you put it in the auto mode, even if there is some supply from the mains, so it will run the generator, because the module is identify that there is some missing voltage, or it is low voltage at all, because it is not he cannot recognize, because if you put it only single phase and the configuration is 3-piece forward, so you cannot recognize, so it will run the generator. So in order to work as what you want, make it the correct configurations, make it the correct wiring. Okay, so here is our connections. Down here is one is the terminal 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, which is our current transformer city. Okay, so in order to work on this, you have to configure also, you have to make sure that the value of the city is correct, and you have to do the configurations for that. The value, you have to input the value for the city. If this one, for example, you have the this example only like 100 by 5 city, or 1000 by 5, because there is like 1000 by 1 city, or like 40 by 1 city. So our commonly used city is like 100 by 5, 40 by 5. This one is the commonly used city we are using in our daily installations. Okay, so here I will tell you, we have here the is 1, is 1, and we have the is 2. So here is 1 is connected to your line connections, because this one is for the line 1, line 2, line 3. So this one is your S1 is the line. You can also ask me, I have the video for this one for the installations for the city, so we can or I can give you the link, so you can also I understand how is the installation should be for those who are not yet familiar on this. So you just ask me for those newly technicians out there. Okay, so here is 1, because this one is the line, this one line connections, and your common connections is 2. So you can connect it here as 36 or in that 37 for your common. So you have, because in the city you have the is 1 and is 2, and so this one you have 3-piece city, or 3 pieces city, because this one is 3-piece. Okay, so you have the is 1 is 2 in a single city, and so since this one is 3 cities, so you have like 3 pieces is 1 and 3 pieces is 2. So is 2 is it is a common connections, you can jump that one, and is 1 is directly from your module, line 1, line 2. Okay, so here let's jump up to the last configurations. Connections. This is the slots for your digital input. So meaning digital input is needed the negative supply in order to work this one, or this one is negatively activated switch. Okay, so this is switch only. So you have the earth here and your sign. This is the symbol for digital input. So means if the switch is closed, so it will give negative supply directly to your digital input. So whatever the configurations you did, so it will shut down and it will pop up the alarms what is the configurations you did there. So it, for example, I will put this one is high oil temperature, so I will put this one as low coolant level switch. I can do that one. So in every letter here and every number here have different configurations what is necessary for you. Okay, so means this one is only negative supply in order to work. Okay, so now let's jump up to our I think this one is important also. Let's talk about it here first. Okay, so I'll try. Okay, so this is the alternator you can change in the configurations for the generator terminology or the diagrams. Okay, so this is in the generator side in the configurations. So if you want this one like the 3-phase 3-wire, so this is the configurations you need to do in the DEESEA. Okay, so if you have delta, so this one, so you can see there is the number 8, 25, 26, 27. So this is the connections. This is the one. If you this is the connections you are using, so you can select. There is a selections that one and during the configuration for this generator. So if you have the 3-phase 4-wire, you select this one, and you have the single phase connections. This one is delta connections, double delta, like yes. So you have the medium connections here, so 2-phase and 3-phase wire. So this one is the output is line to line, so you have the medium voltage here is going to your neutral. Okay, so whatever the connections you did, you just follow this one, your connections for your configurations. So this one is single phase, this one is single phase, see? This is 2-wire, so this one is line to line connections. This is the thing you can select for your alternator side. We have here also. So there is a lot of configurations you can select there, depends on your wiring connections in the alternator. Okay, we are clear. So now let's go from our schematic diagram for our module. So I'll just little zoom in. So I think this one is enough. So okay, so let's start down here. Okay, so we have here the 1 and 2, which is, as you can see here, the installations is negative, which is directly to your negative battery, and it is linked from your earth connections. This is the green cable or the green wire. This is linked together, the negative and your the earth connections. So here the positive, which is we have the fuse here before connected to your module, positive. This is the supply, which is you can supply this one according to the module is like from 8 volts to around 38 VDC. Okay, so here as you can see, it is reconnected, or it is connected here, the fuse, which is designated from your emergency stop, and it is connected from your number 3 numberings from your DEESEA. And here as you can see, internally connected the fuel and the starch, which is connected in number 4 and number 5. So this is the terminal output from your fuel relay and from your starter relay. Okay, are we clear? So here is our charging alternator. This is number 6. I show you the time. We have the D+. So this is number 6, which is connected from your charging alternator, and we have the positive output and we have the positive output also, because this one is to charge your battery. As you can see, it is connected from negative and it is connected also from positive. So here's the communications or the connections from your module, where you can see the voltage status of your charging alternator, if it is give you the output, or it will give you some error or failure for charge. Okay, so next around here we have the 11, 12, 13 and 14, which is designated as your analog input connections. As I told you, we have here the earth connections, or it is earth connections, which is connected or rejoined the negative and the earth. Okay, as I said, it is earth and negative, it is joined together. So means this earth connections here is also having the negative supply. Now in the 12, 13, 14, 15, we have the designated configurations. From the DEESEA side is the oil pressure sensor, coolant temperature sensor, fuel level sensor, and this is the flexible, which is you can add an additional sensor if you are necessary. For example, you need some oil temperature sensor, or the rest of the sensors which is needed from your customer side or from your own generator. Okay, so means this one is the measuring sensor, or the give you the reading status of your oil, engine temperature, the fuel level, or the fuel percentage for your tank, and here is from your configurable sensor. Okay, this one is additional slots for you. So here in the 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, so this one is users configurable, or this one is your digital, I think. Yeah, this one is your digital input, because this one having the negative or the switches which is connected in your negative. So in the actual connections, this one is sometimes this is only one slots, or this is only one wire. It is connected from this switch, which is connected directly to the body. So the body is already have the negative, so once this one is closed, it will give negative feedback going to your module. So this one is the digital input. So this one is configurable, and you can configure this one depends on your needed. For example, this one in the A, you have the oil, or the oil switch, the coolant switch, or the coolant temperature switch. This one is the fuel level switch, and this one is the radiator water level switch, and this one is you have also the high oil temp switch. You can add more, it's necessary for you. So let's go from here. We have here also the designated output for your 7 and 8, which is this one is for your GCB breaker command. Okay, so this one is the breaker close, or the means close. Well, this one is configurable, depends on what you're needed. Okay, so this one is designated, this number 7 and 8, which is designated from your breaker or GCB. Okay, command. This is the two area you can find for the breaker connect command output. So here in 9 and 10, this one is also output, where you can apply what is necessary. Like for example, so I told you this one here you can apply as shunt trip, or the breaker trip pulse or output. This one is give positive signal directly from your relay. It is configurable. You can adjust through the configurations. Okay, so here is our CAN bus connections. As you can see, we have here 19 and 20 and 21. We have the H and L, or we have the red and black, whatever the color coding you're using, and we have the common, the screen. Okay, just make it sure that your connections is correct and not mistaken. Okay, if and this one also is and we have in the ECM side, we have or you have to install the resistor 120. Okay, so this is the USB slots. You can connect here directly to your laptop. This one is 2.0 USB, where this one is for the configurations purpose. Okay, so next here is our city connections. So as you can see, you have the line connections. Okay, so around here we have 1, 2, 3 city connections. So meaning this one either line 1, line 2, line 3, and this one is neutral. Okay, so you have the ACE1 and ACE2, ACE1 and ACE2 same as the structure from here. So you have the ACE1 or the P1, which is your line going to the 33, and the line 2 also S1. This one is all S1. So this one is the ACE2, which is common, which is connected from your common, either 36 or 37. It will work on that. So here is your voltage sensing. So you have the line 1, line 2, line 3, and your neutral connections. So as you can see, this sign here is your fuse side. Okay, so this one here is your fuse side, where you can insert like 5 amps fuses, depends on your wiring connections, and or you can use it like 2 amps fuse. Okay, for the safety measurement in case of there is some short circuit from your module, so it will not affect the rest of the line here. Okay, so let's go from our mains connections. So here is our mains connections, which is you have also the 3 fuses, and this one is also like 2 to 5 amps you can use here. Okay, so around here this one is like your ETS point connections. Okay, so this one is only the command for the motors, for the generator side, and from your mains side. Okay, so as you can see, it is connected line 1, line 2, line 3, and your neutral. So here is the slots is where you can connect those connections, and here is your DC net connections. As I told you, this one is you can config and the DEESEA configurations, where you can install the rest of the device for your module, like as I told you, like local annunciator, or your expansion relay module. Here also you can also like the other module, like you can use as monitoring. You can connect from here. So last one is our MPU, where you can connect 16, 17 and your screen connections. Make it sure that this one is this one having the polarity, but for me it one is working any connections, but this one having the polarity. But for me, I tried it already, even if it is reversely connections, still the same reading input, as I observe, as I learn from it. Okay, so this one is the magnetic pickup, or your MPU. So this one is the speed sensor. Okay, it will read the speed or the RPM of your generator. So it is taken from your flywheel teeth. So in the configuration for this, you have to input the number of teeth in order to work properly. So because if you are mistaken from the flower teeth number, and it will give you also wrong input for the hertz or the speed of this module. So total of this is all. I give you the explanations. So this is all the important where you can find all the setup points for your connections, and this one is clearly and tell you where you can connect everything and the proper and correct way of installing this kind of module. Okay, so if you have some doubt or questions, just comment down below for our YT, or you can ask me for the link for our group chats, so we can talk about it if there is some questions, or you have some doubts about these connections, or you have to ask more explanations for this, so we can I can reply you there. And also in the YT I will reply you there. Just message me down there, so I can give you some informations if I am correct, if I know this how to explain more this type of module, then why not. So I am here only, I'm ready to answer those questions. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share for those who are people who needs also for these configurations and the explanations for the module wiring connections. So once again, benzblogs is here. Thank you for watching, and see you again in my next vlog. Bye bye. Have a blessed day to you.